Hey everybody, good to see you again. Good to see me again. I'm okay, you're okay, whatever. Okay, now, have you ever wanted to marry somebody, but you couldn't because you didn't have a wedding ring? Well, here's an idea for you. Make your own wedding ring. Yeah, let's try it on. Oh yeah, ooh, nice. And it's also a donut. And it's also a gift box for your wedding present in here. See here? Oh, a nice necklace. You can see here, made out of solid gold. So it's 3 in 1. You know, it's wedding ring, gift box, and later you can eat the donut at the party. Okay, this is what you'll need. You will need in fact, you will need 2 toilet rolls. You will need 1 piece of cardboardione, as they say in Italy. And you will need a bit of glue. You will need some some brushes. You will also need some paints, pencil, sandpaper, ruler, something to cut with, some tape. Anything else? Anything else? Can you come up with something? No, I can't. So let's get going. We start with 1 toilet roll, painting it white like this, both on the outside and the inside, because then it's stronger and easier to cut properly. When you've done that, you take the other toilet roll and slice it. Actually, not even slice it. You're just going to make 1 sort of cut so that you can make it smaller, basically. So we draw a line straight down, then we cut straight down like that, because now we are going to make a cylinder like this. So we're going to make this one smaller like this, and the reason for that is because inside the donut, can you see that there is a small cylinder inside? So you really need to make this one, and you do it by rolling this one and sort of mold it, soften the cardboard so that it get used to this sort of smaller size. And when you have a smaller tube like this, you can then make a mark, open it, cut it, and then glue it. Or if you want a more precise tube, you can use something round, like this one. Look, this is an old selfie stick that I have torn apart and repurposed, because each one of these bits on the selfie stick has a different size. So you can make this size tube, this size tube, this size tube, or a small tube like this. So you see, this one I used actually the biggest, put on the biggest part of the selfie stick. Now the reason why it's good to have something round like this is because when you put this one tight and roll it tight onto the stick, it helps you to get a more even roundness, you see, all the way through, and basically your tube becomes nicer and more accurate than if you just did it without the stick. So let's now see exactly how big it should be right there. So let's make a mark. Let's make a mark there, all the way down. See, now we see how big it should be. That's how big it should be. So let's cut it. Yeah, almost perfect. I still think we need to cut away a little bit. Now this part is called adjusting. That means we are adjusting the pieces to be just perfect. So you need to be a little bit patient and do this job accurately. Then you get the best result at the end. Okay. Ooh, perfect. Then we take the glue, a little bit of glue on my finger, along the edge here. Okay, so we squeeze them together. We take the tape like that, and then I pull. I make sure the edges are on the same level here, and then yeah, I close it. Then I take the next bit, next tape. Ah, perfect. Can you see how it's closing just perfect along this edge now? It looks like I'm gonna need a couple more bits of tape. There. Now you need to wait until this dries. Now when it's dry, you just take it off like this, slide it off like this. Then you peel off the tape and you will get a nice cylinder looking like this with the edge nicely, neatly glued. Now then you cut a piece this big, and that's 1.2 millimeters. No, 1.2 centimeters. So you go 1.2, make a mark, cut it, and you got this one. So you take this bit of cardboard, you have your painted toilet roll, and we make, well, sort of make sure that, you know, the ring is quite nice and round and even. Then you draw a circle, another one, there, and then you cut those out so that you get these two little round circly dingies. You see? There. Then from the toilet roll you cut two rings. So you have like this. One ring which is exactly the same width as the small ring, 1.2 cm, and one that is slightly smaller. Can you see that? So you have one that is the same as this, and then this one is slightly smaller. This is about 1 cm only, while this is about 1.2 cm. Because this one is finally going to go inside this one. This is going to be slightly smaller. Then you take the small ring and you position it as good as you can in the middle, right in the middle of this circle. You hold it like this, and then you take your pencil and you draw a ring inside. So you draw around a ring inside like that, not on the outside but on the inside, like this. Then you do that on both the cardboard circles there. Then you cut out those two circles, so you end up with this. Now we are ready to glue. So you take one of those and the biggest ring. See? Not the smallest, but the biggest. Take some glue. And then you glue it right there. That way you get about half a donut. Then I like to use a brush to wipe off the excess glue. Can you see that there is excess glue around here? We don't want that. We want everything to be nice and smooth. So we sort of wipe away and smoothen out all the glue, both on the outside and the inside, like this. Then you take some more glue, you put it on the other side. You also take the small ring and and you put glue on one side, stick it right in the middle so you end up with this, and then glue on the top as well. Now this is what you're looking at, a nice cake there. Okay, so you take this one and put it on top and squeeze. Then you wipe off the excess glue, and then now this needs to dry, and when it is dry it will look like this one that is already dry. Now can you notice that there are these edges, these bad edges? Now we need to smoothen that out so we get this nice smooth donut. So we take the dry piece. I have a smaller knife here. I just chip away the edges that is sticking out until it is even with the side of the donut. Then we use the sandpaper and sand the edges down so they're really nice and smooth. When that's done, you paint it white. And the reason for that is so that we start the box with the donut, sorry, with a nice white surface that makes it stronger. It makes the joints here stronger. Now this needs to dry. Ooh, now it's nice and neat and ready for cutting. So we're now going to cut the lid open. So we make a mark about 5 millimeters, about this much. So that's the lid and that's the box, if you wish. Okay, so I will make a mark about 3 times around the donut. 2 and 3. Then I bring out my magical toilet roll tool so I can make an even circle around it. So I adjust it according to the marks, so I get it even all the way around like that. I hold it, draw the line all the way around there. Take my knife, slowly I make a cut, very nice and slowly. Now if you're uncomfortable with this type of cutting, ask an adult for help. And remember, you probably need to cut around it 3 times before you go through the cardboard. You see, now we are through the first layer. Then we need to cut the inner layer, and for that I need a knife with a longer blade like this so that it reaches all the way to the inner layer. So now I got to be really patient and I got to cut very slowly, turn the donut until I'm through. Okay, almost through. Oh, there. Oh, nice. Look at that. That's what it looks like on the inside and on the outside. Then we need a small bit of sandpaper to clean up these rough edges. Now, do you remember this one? The ring that was slightly smaller than this one? Now, this is for to put inside the lid of the donut box. Now, as you can see now, it's slightly too big to fit in. So we need to open it up. Make one cut like this. See, now we can go like this and fit it inside, and then see exactly how much we need to cut away. I press it against the sides, and then I can see, oh yeah, it's that much overlap. Then I make a mark there, and that is the bit we need to cut away. So I I make a cut, cutting away this little piece. Let's test it again. Oh yeah, fits now perfectly into the lid. Okay, let's glue it. There, fit it inside. Ooh, nice. Press it against the sides and make sure you have full contact with the bottom of the lid, like this. Now it's properly stuck on. Then, as usual, we need to take away this excess glue. If there's any glue on the edge of this lid, you need to take it away, because if you have some leftover glue here, the lid may not fit into the box, you see. So you need that sort of pay attention to these sort of details so that you get a perfect fit. In fact, we can try it already now to see if it fits. Oh yes, see? It's a perfect fit. Now this needs to dry, and then we will put another bit of white inside here and here so that the whole thing is white and crisp when we start with the final color. And then you will end up with something like this. So this is two halves that I've already painted white inside. They are now all dry and we are ready to paint. So we start with the color for the inside of the donut. How about some delicious milk chocolatey brown? Yes! So we start on the inside here, spreading it out, finishing this up, and the other one. Okay, then we switch color to a warm, sort of donutty warm yellow. First on the outside, on the top, and inside the middle ring. Now, when you paint the lid, you got to pay attention to this edge, because you cannot leave any excess paint along this edge here, because then you will have problems fitting the lid onto the box later. So just be careful that you spread the paint really evenly and well, especially along this edge here. Then when the first layer is finished, you dry it, then you paint another layer so the color is really solid. So 2 layers, and then you will end up with this. Now, the reason why I haven't painted here is because this is where the dark chocolate is coming. So I didn't have to paint there. So here it's 2 layers, and then nothing on top, because that is where the dark chocolate is coming. See, inside there is milk chocolate. Now that's dark chocolate. So you take another little brush and then start with painting the wavy chocolate line. You can sort of feel the dark chocolate is running down the side of the donut. Then the top. Then you got to do the same thing on the inside. A dark brown, chocolatey brown, wavy line in the middle here. Now let's leave the first layer to dry, and then we will add another one. Nice and dry, and we can do the second coat. As you can see, the second coat really seals the deal. It makes the paint cover completely and makes the paint really even, which is important. There. Now it needs to dry one more time. Finally, the candy stuff that we sprinkle on top, a little pink, a fine brush, and then I just make some really small marks like like this. Very fine marks. Different angles, some like this, some like that. Okay, finished. Now it needs to dry once again before we do the lacquering. Now here is some acrylic paint lacquer. Now if you look at the original donut that I made, it's very shiny and glossy, and that's not only to make it look good, it's also to make the surface stronger, and then you can also clean it. So it's many good reasons to put on a bit of lacquer. Can you see that when I apply the lacquer, the dark chocolate looks a bit darker and a bit more solid? So you give the whole box a bit of lacquer, both on the sides and the insides and basically everywhere. Then you need to let the lacquer dry properly, and when it's totally dry, then you can put in your gift, whatever you want to give as a wedding gift, on with the chocolate lid. Then you are ready to get married. Happy marriage. Ooh, wedding cake.